Enema began to feel a bit of jealousy for Nwando, her elder sister. She was envious of Nwando's popularity and position as the heiress to the throne of Ojaland. As they grew up, Princess Nwando seemed to effortlessly charm everyone around her with her grace and kindness. She was adored by the people of their land and always received praise from her parents. On the other hand, Princess Once upon a time in Oja village, there ruled a king whose heart was as vast as his kingdom. King Udamaka, wise and benevolent, was revered by all who dwelled within his reign. His reign was known not only for its prosperity but also by a unique tradition that set Oja apart from all other lands. In Oja, it was decreed that every first child of the king, whether male or female, would inherit the throne after his father's reign. This tradition, born out of King Udamaka's belief in equality and meritocracy, ensured that the kingdom would always be led by the most capable and virtuous individual, regardless of gender. King Udamaka himself was the embodiment of these values. He had ruled with compassion and foresight, nurturing the land and its people like devoted parents. His subjects adored him, and his courtiers respected him for his wisdom and fairness. As the years passed, King Udamaka and Queen Njideka were blessed with two beautiful daughters, Nwando and Enema. The king cherished his two lovely daughters more than anything else in the world. Nwando was the older daughter of the king, while Enema was the younger princess. King Udamaka's daughters were both raised with same love and care, instilled with the virtues of leadership and empathy. But the younger princess Enema began to feel a bit of jealousy for Nwando, her elder sister. She was envious of Nwando's popularity and position as the heiress to the throne of Ojaland. As they grew up, Princess Nwando seemed to effortlessly charm everyone around her with her grace and kindness. She was adored by the people of their land and always received praise from her parents. On the other hand, Princess Enema felt overshadowed by her sister's presence. No matter what she did, it seemed she could never quite measure up in her parents' eyes. Despite her efforts, she could not escape the feeling of being the second best. As the years passed, the princesses grew into young beautiful women. Suitors from neighboring villages began to arrive at the palace, seeking their hand in marriage. Each suitor who came for Nwando brought extravagant gifts and professed their love for the princess, but Nwando remained uninterested as she was focused instead on her duties to her kingdom. Enema's envy festered within her heart, turning into bitterness towards her sister as she preferred the men who came for her sister's hand in marriage to those who sought to marry her. Enraged, she started to withdraw from family gatherings, preferring to stay alone in her chambers where she could nurse her feelings in private. One day, in the shadow of Oja's grand palace, envy festered into a dark obsession. Consumed by the desire to seize power for herself, Enema hatched a frightening plot to eliminate her sister Nwando and claim the throne for her own. Under the guise of sisterly affection, Enema devised a plan to poison Nwando during a royal banquet. With the help of a treacherous courtier who shared her ambitions, she laced Nwando's goblet with deadly toxin, intending to strike her down when least expected. As the banquet commenced, Enema watched with bated breath as Nwando raised the poisoned goblet to her lips. But before Nwando could take a sip, A loyal servant noticed the ominous glint in Enemma's eyes and intervened, knocking the goblet off from Wando's hand just in time. The truth was soon revealed, and Enemma's betrayal sent shockwaves through the village. Wando, though wounded by her sister's betrayal, refused to seek revenge, choosing instead to confront her with compassion and forgiveness. Enemma, realizing the depth of her sister's love and the error of her ways, was overcome with remorse. She begged Wando for forgiveness, vowing to atone for her sins and devote herself to serving the village. Ever merciful Wando granted her sister a second chance, but the bond of trust between them had been irreparably damaged. King Udoamaka and his queen Njideka, horrified by the betrayal within their own family, decreed that Enemma would be stripped of her royal rights and banished from the village. Alone and filled with remorse, Enemma wandered the lands, haunted by her actions and the rifts she had created within her family. Time passed, and with each passing day, Enemma vowed to seek redemption. As months turned into years, Wando, who had been married to one of the great men who had sought for her hand in marriage, ruled over Oja village after her father, King Udoamaka I of Oja, had passed. Oja village flourished under the wise and compassionate rule of Queen Wando and her beloved husband, Prince Ikemba. Meanwhile, Enemma, who had wandered far from her hometown, stumbled upon a group of travelers in need. Without hesitation, she offered her assistance, realizing that true fulfillment lay not in power or envy, but in kindness and compassion. Through her acts of selflessness and humility, Enemma found a new purpose and identity beyond her royal lineage. Though she could never undo the pain she had caused her sister and her family, Enemma embraced her journey of redemption, determined to prove that even the darkest heart could find light once more. Despite her newfound purpose, Princess Enemma never forgot the family she had left behind. With each passing day, she longed to make amends for the pain she had caused and to reconcile with her sister, Queen Wando. One day, the news of her father's passing reached her, and her heart ached with grief for the loss of the king who had once loved her so dearly. Determined to honor his memory and to seek forgiveness from her sister, Enemma returned to Oja village. Upon her return, she was met with skepticism and mistrust from people of the village who still remembered her past transgressions. Undeterred, she humbly approached Queen Wando, offering her sincere apologies and pledging her loyalty to the crown. And to her surprise and relief, Queen Wando, who had forgiven her initially, welcomed her with open arms, recognizing the sincerity in her words and the transformation that had taken place within her. Together, the sisters reconciled, their bond stronger than ever before. United once more, Queen Wando, Prince Ikemba, and Princess Enemma worked tirelessly to ensure the continued prosperity of their village. Through their firm dedication and love for their people, they upheld the legacy of their father and ushered in a new era of peace and harmony for the land of Oja.